Sometimes you'll need to modify data that have been posted from timesheets into the system. You'll do this by logging in as the administrator and using, from the Administration Console tab, the Data Modification tool. Here there's only one tool available that enables you to modify posted timesheet data. We click on that, and we can then, in the usual way, as you can with inquiries and reports, select the project or the employee, or based on another field, the data that you want to modify. We'll choose, for example, a particular project, this one here. Remember that you must always apply the filter before you run the profile. I could, of course, set other filters as well and apply them each in turn, but I'll run the profile now with this single project selected. So this is showing me transactions derived from timesheet cells for this particular project, all employees. There's only one page of data here, but you will probably find that in due course there would be many. You can group in the usual way. You might want to group by employee, for example. We have employee here. And then perhaps choose a particular row where you know you need to make a change. Perhaps the employee has posted timesheet cell time to the wrong project. So what you would do in that case is to click on this project selection button here and potentially change the project. Of course, if it's the wrong client, then you would start with client. Now, because I've made a change on that row, the row has been marked with this color here, which corresponds to the key down here, which says that this is a modified row. Before I can exit from this, because the change has not yet been effected, I must calculate and post that row. It could be that there are different fee rates that apply to this particular project. So I'll click on Calculate and Post, and we'll see that the color is now this one, which means that it's been successfully posted. If there were some kind of error in the transaction as a result of the change that you've made, then you would not see the posted color. You would see the error color. So in fact, that's all you need to do to make the change. You'll see you may see the fee rate change. Costs probably wouldn't, but fees and fees local might. Now, you may sometimes be required to split a row, because perhaps 5 hours have been reported against one project and it should have been 3 hours against that project and 2 hours against another. How would you do that? Well, you would select a row and you would click on Split. And we'll split this into 5 hours and 2.5. And then we might change the project on one of those. Note again that before this change is reflected in the database, you must select any row that has been modified and not posted. Actually, you can do that very easily by clicking here at the bottom, and then it will select all rows that have that particular color. And then again we calculate and post. So now we've taken the second row and we've split it into 5 hours and 2.5 hours and assigned part of it to a different project. Note that the project 001 did not have tasks, so the task value was automatically removed from the transaction. As I said, you might begin with client and then set a project and then potentially set a task. Now, occasionally, for example, if your cost rates were wrong for an employee, then you might do something different. Let's suppose that we want to change the employee cost rate, or we simply got an employee cost rate wrong, then you might go into the employee record. Let's take employee 001, for example, and change the cost rate from 45 to 48. You would then want, potentially, you would want all the transactions posted from that employee's timesheet to be recalculated. And so you would do that by choosing the data modification tool again, perhaps selecting on the basis of that employee, which is employee 1, if I remember correctly. Apply that filter and run this. Now you'll see at the moment that we have, for example, in this first row, we have a cost rate of 180. I'm simply going to select all rows and recalculate and post. And we'll now see that that cost has been changed to 192. So you may recalculate transactions even if you're not changing any fields on the transaction, such as client, project, and task. That, I think, concludes what I have to say about the data modification tool. If you have any other queries about this, or you need to do different things, then by all means contact us.